Virustatic has a very strong ethos about actually creating products that solve a problem. It very much is about pushing the limits of the science and the innovation rather than just accepting what has been done before. The company was established in 2009 by my father, and there's 3 generations of our family working in the business. My dad's grandfather had died in the 1918 flu pandemic, and we saw that in 2003 in the SARS pandemic, not much had changed in terms of interventions, and so my dad sort of dedicated his life's work really to developing better technologies for pandemic preparedness.
Looking at a typical surgical mask or an FFP2, they are very non-breathable. And therefore, when you are wearing them, a lot of the air that you're breathing in and out actually gets leaked around the top and the sides of the mask. The Virustatic Shield takes a much more breathable material, so saying that almost all of the air is guaranteed to go through, and then uses biomimicry. So taking a protein that is naturally occurring, that is already used to fight infectious microbes, developed it into a coating for the textile, which then actively removes and deactivates viral aerosols as they pass through it.
The research to test these materials and create this unique product was all funded by the BFTT. That was both our antibacterial testing on the product and our antiviral testing on the product. And they facilitated our expansion into this particular fibre and the range as well. We really wanted to work with merino wool. We think it's an exceptional fibre, already has brilliant inherent capabilities that are only enhanced by our biotechnology. We were experimenting with different knit structures for breathability, but also shaping. And then obviously you can see here, when the colour's involved, then that just brings some really nice texturing, a pattern. These are just prototypes, but the results are beautiful and can have a really high-end way of wearing our technology that doesn't feel clinical, that doesn't feel like you're wearing a mask. It's far more integrated into your daily life.
There's a fairly set path that companies take in order to develop technologies that comply with existing regulatory standards. The Virustatic product is more focused on disease transmission, so less about small particle size filtration and more about inactivation of biological material. So if you're looking at user compliance in the context of a pandemic where you're trying to get as many people as possible to wear masks that have an impact on disease transmission for as long as possible and in a way where they are comfortable, the Virustatic approach is something that lends itself to that sort of intervention.
PPE is essentially a 20th century technology to deal with a 21st century problem. We know that there's shortcomings in the materials and the design of the PPE that is used, but unfortunately, innovation is way ahead of the regulations. The funders and the academic institutions that we've worked with have seen this absolutely massive need for innovation here. What we need to do now is work with the regulators to try and change or develop new protocols and new standards so that this can be communicated to the mass market and say exactly what our fantastic products do so that our consumers can really understand why this is different to what has been used and done before.